Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 19 of 25 days of yoga for 2025. I am so grateful to have you here present with me today, ready to practice. For today's class, to continue your New Year's yoga journey, I will guide you through a 35-minute yoga flow. As always, this is your yoga practice, so if there's anything that you'd like to adjust or modify to make this class comfortable and enjoyable for you, please do so. Begin by coming on to hands and knees in tabletop position, and just start to move intuitively. Notice what movements your body is calling for, whether it be stretching out your wrists or ankles or anything else that feels good. And do that for these first few moments of class. Now let those movements come to a close and lower yourself down to lay on your belly with your arms bent in front of you and your head resting on your forearms. Let your full, extended body weight melt down into the ground. And notice how in this very moment there is not a single bit of weight for you to hold as you lie here. Begin to draw your attention onto the feeling of breathing. Notice your belly gently pressing down further into the ground as you take inhales through your nose. And then notice it contract lightly as you exhale through your nose. Feel these gentle micro movements that occur passively within you as you breathe. I welcome you now to set yourself an intention for today's practice. Maybe notice how you'd like to feel at the end of practice, or decide on some feeling that you want to let go as you practice. Decide on this intention. Take a deep inhale full of it, and then exhale, let it drift away and come back into this present moment. Now turn your head back forward so that your chin rests on your forearms. Inhale and bend your left knee so your foot comes towards your glutes. And on exhale, draw that left knee open to the side and lift it up towards your left shoulder to rest wherever it wants to. Extend your arms out long into a T position so that your chest comes to the ground, and turn a cheek to rest your head. As you lay here and breathe in and out of your nose, notice if you can allow your left knee to draw further into the ground and relax. Inhale and turn your head back to center. And exhale, sweep that left knee straight and back to meet your right. Inhale, bend your right knee, foot towards your glute. And exhale, draw that right knee out towards your right side space and relax. Turn your cheek towards the other side now and melt into the ground here. If you notice any difference in sensation from the last side compared to this side, simply let it exist and draw your mind to those feelings. Inhale and turn your head back through center. And on exhale, straighten out your right knee and place that leg back behind you next to your left. Now sweep your palms underneath of either shoulder. Inhale, draw your shoulder blades back and towards one another. And exhale, extend your arms and push yourself up into tabletop position. Place your wrists right underneath of shoulders and knees right underneath of hips. Inhale and begin to guide your body through a figure 8-like shape, passing back through child's pose and up and over your hands. Use your hips as a guide as you go back towards one side and then travel up in the other direction. You can also choose to just circle forward and backward if this feels better in your body. Now reverse the direction of this figure 8 motion. And notice how it feels in your body to move in this next direction. Allow yourself to be present to every sensation as it passes and changes. Now come back up into a still tabletop position. And on inhale, drop your belly towards the ground to arch your spine and let your crown and tailbone point towards the sky. On exhale, push the ground away from you and round your spine and tuck your chin and tailbone. Inhale, arch your belly, gaze and tailbone lift towards the sky. Exhale, push the ground away and round your spine. On inhale, instead of arching straight down, shift your weight into one hip and arch your spine. Then shift your weight into the other hip and exhale as you push the ground away and round. Shift your weight and arch down towards one side. Shift into the other hip, push the ground away and round. Inhale, drop to one side and arch. Shift your hips, exhale and round. Continue this arching, circling cat-cow motion for a few more breaths at your own pace. Let your gaze lift as you arch and let your chin tuck as you round. Now reverse the direction of these circles. Now shifting into the other hip as you inhale and arch. And continue this motion at your own pace. The next time you pass through a rounded spine, pause and take an inhale. And then exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Step your right foot in between your hands and sink your weight into that front right hip. On inhale, lift your arms up high overhead. And exhale, sweep your hands down to the mat under your shoulders and shift your hips back and down to invite your right leg to straighten. Inhale, shift your weight forward and lift your arms high. Exhale, sweep your hands down under your shoulders and send your hips back and down. Your right toes can peel off of the mat to make that straighten easier. Inhale, shift forward and lift your arms high. Exhale, sweep your hands down and shift your hips back. Inhale, shift your weight forward and lift your arms high. Exhale, sweep your hands down to the mat on either side of your right foot. Step your right hand to the inside of your right foot, and on inhale, lift your left arm high towards the sky as your gaze follows your left fingertips. Exhale. Inhale, reach high through your fingertips and feel the length you create. And exhale, sweep that left hand back down to the mat. Place your right palm on the outside of your right foot once again. And then slide your right knee back to meet your left in tabletop and readjust. Now step your left foot in between your hands and sink your weight down into your left hip. On inhale, lift your arms up high and overhead. And exhale, sweep your hands down underneath your shoulders and send your hips back and down to invite your left leg to straighten. Toes can peel off the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, arms lift high. Exhale, sweep your palms down to the mat and send your hips back and down. Inhale, shift your weight forward, arms lift. Exhale, sweep your palms back down to the mat and send your hips back. Inhale, bend your left knee, shift your weight forward, arms lift high. And exhale, send your palms back down and shift your hips back. Inhale, shift your weight forward, arms lift. Exhale, sweep your palms down to the mat to frame your left foot. Walk your left hand to the inside of your left foot, and on inhale, lift your right arm long and high towards the sky to open your chest towards the right. Inhale, reach high and lengthen. Exhale, relax your shoulder. Inhale, reach high one more time. And exhale, lower your right hand down to the mat. Step your left hand back onto the outside of your left foot. And slide your left knee back to meet your right. Now walk your knees back slightly so you can lower yourself down to lay on your belly, with your palms resting right underneath of your shoulders. Keep your elbows squeezed in towards each other and slide your palms back until your thumbs point at about mid-rib. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades back and towards one another. And exhale, walk your feet apart about hips width distance. Ground through the tops of your thighs and your feet And on inhale, lift your chest and head off of the ground. Exhale, melt back down. Reground through the tops of your thighs and feet and squeeze your shoulders back and together. Inhale, lift your chest off of the mat for Bhujangasana Cobra, and exhale, slowly release back down. Now draw your shoulder blades firmly back and towards one another and push the tops of your feet into the ground. On inhale, press into the ground through your hands and straighten your arms to open your chest and lift your hips off of the ground. Keep your feet pressed into the ground as your knees lift as well, with space between your shoulders and ears. On exhale, push down through your shoulders and lift up through your core to draw your hips up and back, and tuck your toes underneath of you on your way up to downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend one knee and then the other to pedal out your legs before coming into stillness and lowering both heels down towards the earth. Hug your upper arms and hands towards one another to stabilize you, and push through your shoulders to find length. On inhale, lift your right leg high behind you for three-legged dog. And exhale, open out your right hip. Inhale, come back through center, three-legged dog. And exhale, shift your weight forward into your shoulders and draw your right knee to your left elbow. Inhale, pull up through your core and send your hips back. Right leg lifts for three-legged. Exhale, shift your weight forward and bring your knee in towards your chest. Inhale, pull up through your core back to three-legged. Exhale, shift your weight forward into your shoulders and draw your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, lift back up three-legged. And exhale, bend your right knee. Shift your weight forward until shoulders stack over hands and step your right foot onto the outside of your right hand. Turn your right toes out slightly to face towards the corner of your mat, and then lower your left knee down to the ground. Untuck your toes and keep your chest open. Inhale. Exhale, stay here or lower yourself down onto your forearms and let your hips sink towards the mat. Keep your gaze forward to keep your chest open. And as you breathe here in your expression of Uttam Pristhasana lizard pose, let any tension that does not need to be there go. No matter where you are, press back up onto your hands with arms extended and turn your right toes back to face forward. Keep your spine long and flat, and on inhale, lift your left arm straight high towards the sky. And exhale, send your left palm back down to the earth. Shuffle your right foot inward towards your hand slightly and tuck your back left toes under. Inhale, lift your left knee off of the ground, and exhale, let your left foot turn in and down to come parallel to the back of your mat. On inhale, lift your left arm high towards the sky. Feel your right knee track over your right ankle, and exhale, hold. Take a deep inhale here to get ready to push yourself up. And on your exhale, bend into that right knee and lift your chest high into side warrior, Parsha Virabhadrasana. Your back foot can walk forward slightly to shorten your stance, and watch as your right knee tracks right over your ankle. Inhale and gaze over your right fingertips, shoulders and hips squared to the side of your mat. And exhale, reach forward through your right fingertips to lean your chest forward, and then reach through your back left fingertips to lean back. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale, reach backward, and let this become a dance. Let your arms take up the space that they want to and flow as you inhale and exhale here. Inhale and come back through center and find stillness. And exhale, lower your hands down to your hips. Now straighten out your front right knee and re-square your hips and shoulders towards the side of your room. You can stay here or heel toe your foot in to make your stance shorter. Inhale, stand tall here. And on exhale, sink into your right hip and send your left towards the back of your space as you lean over your front right leg. Keep your shoulders stacked here. Inhale, stay here with hands on hips. Or on exhale, draw your arms out wide. Right arm comes towards your right leg as left arm lifts high for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let your gaze follow either set of fingertips. Inhale, and on exhale, gently bend into your front right knee and plant your left hand down to the mat as your back left foot pivots forward so toes face forward. Inhale, and on exhale, lift your hips up and back and step your right foot back to meet your left in Down Dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your left leg high behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, open out your hip. Inhale, come back through three-legged. Exhale, shift your weight forward through your shoulders and draw your left knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift up through your core and send your hips back for three-legged. Exhale, draw your left knee in towards your chest. Inhale, push up and back, three-legged. Exhale, shift your weight forward and draw your left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, lift through your core, three-legged. Exhale, shift your weight forward, bend your left knee and step your foot to the outside of your left hand. Now turn your left toes out slightly. Inhale, and on exhale, lower your right knee down to the ground. Inhale and stay here, or on your exhale, lower down onto your forearms and let both hips lower towards the ground. Let your chest come to about shoulder height or towards it as you breathe here in your expression of Uttam Pristhasana. No matter where you are, inhale and lift back onto your hands. And exhale, turn your left foot back in so toes face forward. On inhale, lift your right arm high towards the sky to open your chest. And exhale, sweep your right palm back down to the ground. Tuck your back right toes under, and on inhale, lift that right knee off of the ground. Exhale, turn your back right foot in and down to come parallel to the back of your mat, and lift your right arm high towards the sky once again. Inhale, and exhale, feel the left knee track over the left ankle. deep inhale here to get ready to push yourself up. And on exhale, sink your weight into that front left knee to push you up into Parsha Virabhadrasana, side warrior. Square your hips and shoulders towards the side of your mat and gaze forward over your front left fingertips. Inhale and exhale, hold. Inhale, reach forward through your left fingertips, and exhale, reach back through your right to begin to find that dancing flow forward and backward once again. Breathe as you flow. Inhale back into stillness and side warrior. And exhale, lower your hands to your hips and straighten your front left knee. You can heel toe that back right foot in a step or two to shorten your stance. And then square your hips and shoulders towards the side of your mat. Inhale, stand tall here. And on exhale, sink into your left hip and send your right hip towards the back of your space as you lean your torso over your left leg. Keep shoulders stacked and torso long. Your hands can stay here. Inhale, or on exhale, draw them out wide. Left hand comes towards your left leg as right hand comes towards the sky and gaze follows. Inhale, reach through your right arm for Trikonasana. Exhale, place a gentle bend in your front left knee. Lower your left palm to the ground and then lower your right palm to the ground as your back right foot turns in so toes face forward. Inhale, and on exhale, push your weight into your hands and step your left foot back to meet your right in Palakasana, plank. Gently lower your knees down to the ground and then sweep your legs behind you to come on to your sitting bones. Scoot your glutes forward on your mat so that you create room for yourself to lay down on your back. Extend your left leg long below you and walk your arms out to shoulder height in a T position. Inhale and press into the ground through your right foot to lift your hips off of the ground and shift them all the way to the right side. Inhale, step the sole of your right foot up onto the top of your left thigh. And on exhale, let your right knee fall towards your left side space and stop just before your right shoulder peels off of the mat. Turn your head to gaze over your right fingertips and relax here in Supta Matsyendrasana. Your left hand can stay in a T position or gently come to rest on the top of your right knee, not forcing it lower than your body wants to let it go, but just inviting it to rest. Breathe deeply here in this asana and notice if with each exhale, if you can invite even a millimeter deeper of a twist to come through. Bring your left arm back to T position. Turn your head back to center and on inhale, lift your right knee back up to point towards the sky and exhale, plant your right foot back down to the mat. Inhale, push through your right foot and lift your hips back to center and extend your right leg long. Now bend your left knee and plant the sole of your foot onto the mat. Inhale, push through your left foot to lift your hips off of the mat and scooch them all the way towards your left side. Inhale, step the sole of your left foot onto the top of your right thigh. And exhale, let your left knee fall towards your right and stop just before that left shoulder peels off of the mat. Let your body stop where it wants to. Gaze over your left fingertips, and if you'd like, invite your right hand to come to the top of your left knee and melt in here. Continue your steady, deep breaths. And instead of judging or analyzing any differences from the last side to this one, just let them be and let yourself feel them completely. Place your right arm back in T position and turn your head back to center. And on inhale, lift your left knee back to point towards the sky, and exhale, plant your left foot back to the ground. Inhale, push through your left foot to lift your hips off of the mat and bring them back to center. Exhale, extend your left leg long, and then bring your arms down by your sides, palms facing down. Create fists with your fingers and your toes, and on inhale, squeeze every muscle in your body and hold your breath. Hold, hold, hold. And exhale, let it all go and melt into the ground. Watch within your body as with each breath, more tension subsides and allows you to ground further. Keep your focus drawn to these feelings or to your breath as you lie here and soak up your rest in your shavasana. Now begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes gently to come back into your body. When you're ready, bend one knee and then the other, and scooch your hips towards one side of your mat so that you can come to lay on one side and then push yourself up into a comfortable seat. Let your hands gently rest on the tops of your thighs or your knees, and let your eyes come to a close and gaze within. I invite you to circle back on the intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of the practice today. And notice if that intention would like to carry on with you throughout the rest of your day. Regardless of what you decide, I encourage you to bring some of the peace and light and love that you've experienced on the mat today off of the mat and into the world. Bring your hands to meet at heart center, and on inhale, extend your arms, palms still touching over top of you. And on exhale, send them right back down to heart center and bow your head. You have just completed day 19 of 25 days of yoga for 2025. You are doing amazing, and you only have 6 days left of this challenge. No matter if you are here for this challenge or you are just passing through to enjoy a practice, thank you so much for being here and trusting me to guide you. I look forward to seeing you next time or tomorrow for day 20. Namaste and Jai Bhagwan.